Steve, and welcome to our smoke experience. After carefully going through a thoughtful process and considering all of the variables that were presented to them, they recommended Vision as the best K-5 math program that they would recommend for us to vote on and implement. I continue to support the committee's recommendation of that Vision math program. So later on tonight, you will be hearing more from staff about the action item.
Good afternoon. I'm co-chair with the Urban Native Education Alliance. I am Turtle Mount Chippewa, Assiniboine, and Sioux, and I support the amendment which approves the dual math adoption in vision and in focus. Additionally, the Indian Heritage High School program must be revitalized as promised at previous meetings. I quote a proposal submitted by Director Beasley in November 2013. Members of both the Native American community and Alternative School 1 community proposed the development of a Native-centered K-12 pathway. In a recent meeting, the superintendent denied commitment to the American Indian Heritage High School, despite community knowledge of his stated commitment. Based on the SPS strategic plan and the educational racial equity policy, we believe the staff, the administrators, superintendent, and the board are committed to a better outcome for our Native learners. We also believe that there is enough justification in the data. If that isn't enough to get someone committed to change in a good way, maybe we should revisit the federal and state policies about civil rights. Or maybe we should just implement the 5-year strategy and use the lens of the SPS race and equity policy to recommit. I see 100% graduation with the high school program for our Native learners. We would like to propose a starter school at one of the high schools that houses the most Native learners, like Ingram High School. We know we need to grow a population or incubate a critical mass of students that could spur into a high school. When is there going to be enough numbers to help change the data outcome? The funds are spread throughout the school district. Why couldn't they be focused in one location for the Native learners for the greatest impact? Furthermore, we have SPS high school students interested in a culturally based education. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Sent Wilson. I'm Ogallala Sioux, and I'm chairperson for the Urban Native Education Alliance. I approve of the dual math adoption. The Seattle Public School Board has a unique opportunity to move forward a promise and honor a commitment made by John Stanford, and thereby assigning the first Seattle Public School in Washington State to be named after a contemporary Native leader, educator, and visionary, Robert Eaglestaff. The possibility to rightfully pay tribute to a modern-day Native leader would reflect the progressive and enlightened intellect of the people of Greater Seattle. Mr. Eaglestaff effectively gained the trust and the engagement from both Native and non-Native communities to build a model program serving the entire school district and Native community. Indian Heritage served as a resource and a hub for cultural learning benefiting the Greater Seattle community. Robert Eaglestaff achieved success through community-wide cross-cultural learning events, activities, and programs. Robert Eaglestaff was known in many settings and circles as a strong advocate for civil rights and racial equity. The legacy of Robert Eaglestaff continues to be felt throughout our communities despite his passing in 1996. Please vote in support of renaming Wilson Pacific Robert Eaglestaff School.
I'm Rose Gibbs. I'm Laxton First Nation. I attend Ingram as a sophomore. Our Native community, we would like to propose renaming Wilson Pacific School to Robert Eaglestaff School. Our interest in renaming this school has been a discussion within the urban Native community for many years. Robert Eaglestaff's legendary and remarkable leadership as a principal of Indian Heritage School from 1989 to 1996 left an indelible mark on our community. Renaming the school will honor his lifelong commitment, dedication, sacrifice to Indian education and Indian learners. Our effort to pay homage to Robert Eaglestaff underscores our desire to lift our community and strengthen our relationship with Seattle Public Schools. The Eaglestaff family fully endorses and supports naming Robert Eaglestaff School as a respectable gesture to honor a great educator, leader, and community member. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brendan McShane Carty, and I'm a senior at Nathan Hill High School. My tribe is the Comanche Nation. When I was growing up as a teenager, my education was said to be important to me. Now, as a native, my culture and my heritage is twice as important as to my life. Having these educations, it helps the student body accept us more when they learn our culture ways. So please, I ask that you support funding the Native high school programs and Seattle Public Schools, because it really would help us. We need it. Thank you.
My name is Chris Jenkins, Box 84063, Seattle 98124. On 3 capital project items related to Genesee Hill and Wilson Pacific. I ask that you vote no on these items. 2 points. Number 1, I attended the City Landmarks Board hearing on May 21st, where the school district asked the Landmarks Board to deny the nomination of Wilson Pacific to be a landmark. I and others asked the board to approve the nomination. The Landmarks Board voted 8-0 to approve the nomination. They indicated that the Native background associated with the site is important. They will vote on whether to make Wilson Pacific an official landmark on July 2nd. Number 2, attached is a letter of support for landmarking Wilson Pacific from the chair of the Duwamish tribe. On 2 items related to district errors and applying 2.0 GPA requirements. How many students have been adversely affected? On the K-5 math materials adoption, 3 points. Number 1, one side seems to favor discovery math, asserting that allowing students to investigate rather than be told math concepts produces a deeper understanding. Claimed downsides include inefficiency and what happens if students don't discover what they are supposed to. Number 2, the other side favors telling students directly about math concepts as a more straightforward approach. Claimed downsides include rote learning. Number 3, I have taught math both ways. I don't see that the current proposals offer any broad resolution to problems with math education. I would prefer that the district publicly clarify what the issues are. Thank you.
I'm Robin Magnan, UNEA board member, Choctaw, Lakota, Métis, parent and grandparent. I support the dual path math amendment. We are concerned about the racial imbalance of district's plan to refocus resources, space, and site to APP students. What happened to SPS commitment to preserving space for Native programming, services, and community access at new schools to be located at Wilson Pacific site? This is gentrification and displacing and eliminating access to our traditionally sacred site of Langston Springs. I cede my time to Jade Standing Rock.
My name is Jade Stanrock, a triple R base and a San Juan C. I attend Whitman Middle School. I am also a Chris Guy youth. I have experienced racism, discrimination, and exclusionary practices in Seattle schools. Despite the negative and oppressive conditions, I am proud of being Native. I strongly recommend the board and superintendent vote in support of renaming Wilson Pacific Robert Eaglestaff School. Robert Eaglestaff was a contemporary local leader, educator, and visionary. I also recommend you fund and support rebuilding a Native-focused high school program. Based on Seattle School District track history, you're all culpable in violating our treaty rights, rename the school, and fulfill the promise to name the school after Robert Eaglestaff and revitalize a viable Native-focused high school program. Thank you.
Hi again.
I think you've already spoken.
I know. It's important that the school be named after Robert Eaglestaff because it's part of our heritage too, and also it makes the community happy.
Okay, thank you. You're only permitted one speaking slot.
It's on both sides. Years ago, Rick Burke and I became friends. I've spoken with you, Director McLaren. I understand everyone has the best wishes in mind for students. The textual materials, that's one component. And when that